and welcome to today's live. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire. And I go live every Monday and Friday for free live tarot readings. I also offer more in-depth readings through my Your Questions Answered series. Do check out the latest reading, which gets posted every Wednesday. And that weekly series has now moved to a monthly format to make space for new content, so do watch out for that as well. If anyone would like a free reading today, as usual, just click the link in the pinned comment and you'll be added to a list. A gentle reminder of how I read. So I'm an energy reader, tuning into you and your situation, your energy, to bring clarity. So do please provide as much context and detail as possible that you feel comfortable with. I don't do yes, no questions or timelines. And please hold your question until you're called. If there's no response when I do call your name, I will have to skip just to keep things moving. And to get to as many people as possible. A gentle reminder as well to keep the chat respectful, so no self-promo, off-topic advice or cue pushing, please. Readings flow in divine timing, and just watch the chat for regular list updates. But let's get into it. And I'm going to head over to the list now and get that posted. Hey Nettie, hey Anne, lovely to see you here. Let me head on over to the list. And Anne, you are first on the list, and Franklin, that is. So please go ahead and post. 1 second, I'm just having trouble getting this list. How's everyone doing this Friday? Are you ready for the weekend? And I'm using the Neon Tarot deck today. So I'm just going to start shuffling to get the energy flowing. So Anne asks, can you tell me what I might expect in August overall? Sure thing. So what is the energy of August for Anne, please, Spirit? What will be the focus in August 2025, please, Spirit, for Anne? Nice. Two of Wands energy. Planning. Ambitious energy. Wands energy, okay? So fire, passion, ambition, looking to the future. I'm going to pull one more card. Feeling strategic, I always think, with the Two of Wands as well. So we are maybe after a period of feeling like we are just dealing with the day-to-day, if that makes sense, like not being able to plan, you know, ahead to the next week. Sometimes life can get like that, where we're just kind of going through the motions, we're just getting through the day. And we're dealing with our emotions, we're dealing with what life is throwing at us. And the Two of Wands is moving into a more comfortable energy, Anne, where we can get our head above the water, yeah? And we can finally look to the future and begin to plan and begin to imagine what that might look like, and more what we want and plan and goal set. Because we have to be have a certain energy level, be feeling a certain level of emotional stability to be able to move into a more comfortable place, and we're going to be able to put down these burdens, these 10 of these 10 wands, and an ending of a cycle. Release some stuff that's been weighing you down, okay, and really dragging you down. So I hope that resonated. Positive, moving in the right direction, moving into, let's say, a more comfortable position. Next on the list we have another Anne, but just Anne, no surname. Hey Anne, I hope you're well. If you're here, please go ahead and post your question. Hey Nat Nat, hey Sarah, hey Tej. Lovely to see you here. Oh, nice, Anne, exciting. I'm meeting my crush tomorrow. Would you please tell me what energy will surround our meeting? Absolutely. I'm good, thank you, Seer. You're not Seer, I'm Seer. I'm good, thanks, Tej. And Anne says, thank you, Seer, that was positive read. It was. So, Anne, this is for you. I'm meeting my crush tomorrow. Spirit, please tell us what the energy surrounding this meeting will be for Anne. I'm intrigued as you're... Oh, wow. This is super positive, Anne. I mean, this is... I don't know if it is a wedding that you're meeting tomorrow at, or it can be, it talks about, this is the card of marriage, okay? Which I know we're at the very early doors of this connection, yeah? We're at the crush stage. But nonetheless, Spirit brings through this very positive, very powerful, what feels like a blessing, yeah? This is a card of union. This is a card of celebration. It's a card of stability, because we have these 4 wands, yeah? So whenever we see a 4, that's always a good sign to me, generally, of that we are... This is giving us a kind of snapshot into the potential of this connection. But so this is the energy surrounding the meeting tomorrow as well. So, I mean, all that energy is good. Look at all that pink as well in this deck. I'm seeing like pink for love, pink for, you know, this connection, this bond. I'm going to pull one more because I'm nosy. But, I mean, that's awesome. Oh my God, says Anne. Exactly. Oh my God. We can see you, Ethereal. We can see you. Oh, and then we have a Death card. Now, the Death card, Major Arcana, is... So 2 very powerful cards. And the Death card, Anne, is a card of transformation. And the Death card is about an end of an era in a way, which I think is coming through to say that, again, the potential for this connection is somewhat an end of a transition, yeah? A transformation from the old life, the old way, to the new. So, absolutely, this is... like I say, the possibility here seems seems big, seems like it's a big deal. The connection between you two and the potential for this to move into a real relationship of commitment and longevity. The signs are all there. The death of the old, ushering in a new era. And the Four of Wands is the card of celebration. So I hope that resonated for you, Anne. Yes, Ten of Voices, exactly, Anne. The end of an era, the end of what has been up until this point. So keep us posted, yeah? How exciting. So next we have Judite. Thank you, Judite. So Judite asks, hello, until I find something better, how will my journey in the company where I am working at the moment, how will be my journey? Good question, Judite. It's often worth asking that. So this is my goal, but what happens in the meantime, yeah? How do I deal with the now? Hey Miller, sorry. Lovely to see you here. Thanks for being here. So Judite, this is for you, my love. Yes, Anne, keep us posted. Okay, so Spirit, with regards to Judite, how will their journey be, or what should Judite be focusing on in the company where they are until they find something better? So some advice and guidance in what to do in the meantime. Interesting. Page of Cups. An offering of sorts. Are you struggling, Judite, I'm assuming you are, if you're looking for something better, you're dealing with some difficulties where you are now? So this, to me, this Page of Cups reads, what first comes through from Spirit is, I think that an offer will come through to you quicker than what you might expect. Now, this is interesting. It could be a difficult person working with you, okay? So the Page of Cups is an offer. Could be an offer even within your company, an offer of change, like a new position, a move away from, like a move in the office or a new position, some kind of unexpected change that you might not see coming. Or it could be another job offer that comes through quicker than maybe it might happen quite easily for you, Judite, okay? The Moon card talks about fears, insecurities, and managing them, really. Like you're in the unknown at the moment, and your intuition going within and trusting your gut. So trusting your gut with this person as well, who is causing you difficulties, who may be triggering these insecurities, anxieties, okay? If they're like difficult to read, if they haven't got your best interests at heart, things like that, you know, it can bring up all these, understandably, all these fears. So trust your gut and your intuition with this person. And then 8 of Wands. Again, this sense that I feel like things are going to shift for you, Judite, quicker than what it may feel like it's going to be a long journey out. But actually, I see things moving. This 8 of Wands, fast movement, change. It coming in quicker than what you're expecting. Some kind of change. This Page of Wands with the the Page of Cups with the 8 of Wands. Change is being ushered in. Just manage your anxieties as best you can. Your intuition, you do have the ability to protect yourself against this person. This person can't get the better of you, okay? But you must listen to your gut and that inner voice. So I hope that resonated. Keep us posted about that offer, Judite. No problem, Sarah, you are next, so please go ahead and post your question. Hey, Danny baby, nice to see you here. Yes, Chandler, you're on the list. Yes, let us know. Sarah, go ahead and post your question. No need to apologise, you are next. So we've got Sarah. I'll post the list. Sarah asks, what to expect in your new business till August ends? I remember did we get the Hanged Man last time, Sarah? Let's see till August ends energy. So Spirit, tell us about what Sarah can expect. Ah, that was for July. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Ooh, nice. Major Arcana, Sarah. So this tells me, which is a second Major Arcana, okay, because the Hanged Man, that was a Major Arcana as well. So this is just recognition from Spirit that this has strong energy, powerful energy around it, powerful potential around this new business, okay? So the World card, endings, new beginnings, this talks about are you ready to move into, it will shift the energy for you, and I feel like you will shift up a gear by the end of August, Sarah. So a sense of flow and a new cycle has truly began, okay? So this is, yeah, new business that maybe after that initial Hanged Man energy of a more still energy, yeah, the more focus being on about your perspective, and then the world feels like we shift up a gear, okay, by the end of August, and we can usher in this new energy and this new cycle. And I feel like you'll feel more positive about it by this, not to say that you're not feeling positive now, but there'll be more of a buzz and a more of a busyness, a fullness, and you really like kind of set on the right track by the end of August. Things are moving. Draw on the resources as well. I'm just drawn to these 4 aspects of in each corner here. Draw on resources, okay? So promotion, anyone who can help you in this area, reach out to people, places, things that can push this forward for you even more, because I feel like you're not fully doing this on your own. You're obviously at the center of this mission, but there are energies around you that, and people around you that can help push this forward for you, okay? Positive card there for you, Sarah, so keep us posted. Next we have Nettie, my love. If you are here, please go ahead and post. Then we have Samreen. You're so welcome, Sarah. Okay, I'm going to close the list soon, so in the next 5 minutes. So if there's anyone else who would like to get on the list, please do so now. Go ahead and post, Samreen. Thank you, Nettie. General love reading, please. So Nettie, just remind me where we, just give me some context about, are you Nettie, are you single? Are you in a relationship? Tell me where you're at. Is there anyone on the horizon? Sometimes the more context and detail, you know, sometimes when it's a general, that can be too broad. Tell me a bit more about where you're at. Thanks, Samreen. I'll read for you after Nettie. And don't forget, just like the chat says, don't forget to check out the latest. And is there anyone, Nettie, on the horizon that you want to do an energy check-in with them? Try to be more specific about the question. It helps me give you a more meaningful reading. As I was saying, so don't forget to check out my latest video, Your Questions Answered. This is a deep dive into personal questions from the community. I've now moved this weekly series to a monthly series just to make space for new content. Ooh. Like I said, that I'm kind of with general readings. I find that sometimes that as I, you know, read more for people, I find that general readings sometimes aren't, I don't know how meaningful that they are. Yeah, I think that it can be more helpful for people to be, more helpful for you guys, the more specific that you can be. Okay, thanks, Natty. So there's no one in your life right now. Let's see what, I think maybe more helpful then. What do you need to focus on to bring in the love that you desire? Oh, so we've got a person. King of Cups. Whenever I see, you know, a knight, a queen, or a king, this really does often speak of a specific person coming through. So King of Cups can be a water sign, or have this strong in their astro chart, okay? The King of Cups, so this is an energetic signature that you can look out for and expect Nettie to come through as a next love interest. The King of Cups is someone who, with them being a king, they have a maturity about them. So they've lived their life. They have life experience. They know who they are. Okay, they have an understanding about who they are, their likes, their dislikes, their point of view. King of Cups is generally quite reserved, thinks before they speak, and they do have an emotional intelligence, okay, because they feel things deeply. They can be quite sensitive, empathic. That's how they move through the world, okay? And they have an emotional intelligence about them. Their shadow side, they can be a bit moody. They can be a bit too reserved. They can tend to isolate themselves. The light side, the positive side, is that they have a lot of emotional depth, sensitivity, and when they are emotionally connected to someone, they're all in. Yeah, it's a deep kind of love, and they value matters of the heart. Okay, so I hope that resonated, Nettie. So I'm going to close the list now. If you just bear with me. Hey Sonali, you're on the list, so nice to see you here. I'm going to close the free list. And there we go. Samreen, so you are next. I know you posted your question. I'll just scroll up. So Samreen asks, hi, I wanted to ask, does my ex still have any energetic connection with me? In the past, whether the cards were positive or negative, there was always some kind of energetic link between us. There was, that's very true. I'm wondering what the connection feels like now, or if it's still there at all. First question, I'll obviously will ask the cards, Samreen, but this is a question as well worth very much asking yourself. Like, do you feel that, you know, in your body, in your emotions? I think that more than often than not, you know, it's your intuition, it's looking within that will tell you, do you feel energetically connected to this person? Because often when the energetic connection or the bond is broken, is like severed, is when we're at that point when we feel nothing. If we feel love, if we feel hate, then there is still, you know, that can be your first sign that there is still an energetic connection here. That was going to be actually my next point about dreaming. So you're seeing him in your dreams where he wants to talk and I'm shutting him off. So that tells you so much information, Samreen, there, okay? Is it when you say unsure what it is with you, is that what you mean by why you're shutting him off? Let's explore that a bit more. So if you're dreaming of someone, if you'll find yourself thinking of someone a lot, if there are strong emotions that are still around this when you think of this person, then there are all your questions. You know, there are 3 very important things to ask yourself about if you're still have an energetic bond. If it's yes to any of them, all of them, then, you know, there's your answer. So shall we have do you know why that is when you say unsure of what it is with me, of why you're blocking him? Is that what you're asking, Samreen? Let me know. I'm going to pull a card. Spirit will be able to answer. Are you asking why you're blocking him, Samreen? I'm just doing my own check-ins, Chanley, with Samreen. So if you can just let me work this one out. Please just focus on your own questions, focus on your own reading, rather than commenting on other people's reading. And keep the chat respectful. Thanks, guys. Will he reach out to me? Okay, so that's the question. So Samreen wants to know, Spirit, will her ex be reaching out to her? What's the energy surrounding that, Spirit? Ooh. Major Arcana. Confirmation again that the energy is still potent and strong. But it's bringing up, we're still in the dark on this with the moon, okay? The moon card is when the path forward, okay? It will be illuminated in time, but at the minute, the moon card is that we are still in the dark on this situation, and the path forward isn't clear for you and your ex, Samreen, okay? I'm going to do an energy check-in to tell us more about how they feel right now. But I feel like that, you know, this situation and where we're at now, very much, this is your energy, you know, at the center here with the moon, and feeling maybe stressed, anxious about this. I know you were maintaining quite a strong, detached energy for some time, but maybe that's shifted, and, you know, this is natural in a way that we kind of get sucked back into our emotions again, and our insecurities and fears can come back up. Try to focus on your manifestation when this happens. And this card as well, because the moon is like being in a space where we're in the unknown, okay? And the moon card asks us to get comfortable with the unknown. That feels maybe counterintuitive, but it can be very helpful for us, for all of us, you know, to get comfortable with the unknown. But bearing that in mind, getting comfortable with the unknown, managing our insecurities, managing our fears, can you tell us anything more about how Samreen's ex is currently feeling? Ooh, another major arcana. Look at these, both very intense cards here, Samreen. The death card is about a transformation. So they're going through something heavy on their side, okay? They're going through a transformation. Something is ending for them, which is interesting, and making way, which it will make way ultimately in the end for something new. Do you know anything more about what's going on with their life? I'm wondering if this is... Yeah. So 10 of Wands, putting down burdens again. They are closing something out, something they are going through an intense period of transformation, which feels like it's dominating their energy, okay? The 10 of Wands ultimately is that they will be able to put down some burdens that they have been carrying. I would say maybe that's why you're feeling unclear and mixed up, Samreen, as well, is that their energy it doesn't mean that the energy connection is severed, but something else is really is overwhelming their energy. Something is being shaken up. It's a bit like a tower moment when we see the Death card. Ultimately, it will release energies that they don't align with, but it can be quite heavy when it does happen. So I hope that resonated, Samreen. No problem, Miller. Thanks for letting me know that you're still here. So we've got Nat, I see your question, and then we've got Miller, you're after Nat, so you haven't missed your turn. Nat asks, love guidance for my next long-term relationship. Nice to see you here too, Nat. I hope I'm glad that you made it. Samreen says, I've been wearing stone to clear aura. I think that you mean by that. Hope it's for a new beginning for us together. I hope that for you as well, Samreen. Keep focusing on your manifestations now. Try to get on top of those anxieties and fears and the mindset, yeah? That's what my advice would be, to ride out this cycle. There's a lot of, in the dark energy, a lot of things hidden and old energies that need to be cleared out at the minute. That's what's happening. So focus on your mindset. Okay, Nat, this is for you, my love. And we're looking at the next long-term connection. Spirit, what can you tell us about that, please, Spirit? And love guidance in particular. So guidance for Nat in regards for this next term, long-term relationship. Five of Wands. So this is about conflict in some way, probably internal, Nat, with this for you. Maybe your emotion, you're feeling a bit all over the place at the moment, and we're feeling a bit misaligned. Maybe sometimes we're feeling positive about the future, and then other times we are sort of sinking into hopelessness or the negative aspects, not having self-belief that it's on its way. Let me know if that resonates. Or it could be something that's going on in your life with actual external conflict, where it's like this energy is all about not being able to get on the same page, either with yourself or with people around you. Now, with it being a 5, this says that it will pass. I'm going to pull another card to get a bit more info, but no real harm is being done, because no one's actually, if you look close on this card, no ones are actually making contact. There's just a lot of kind of drama. There's a lot of flip-flopping, I often think, with this card. It's not very pleasant when it's happening. And the goal is to somehow, my overthinking can sabotage. Yeah, the advice, the guidance is about trying to align your energies, I think, Nat. Trying to create your own stability and create your own belief. You know, it sounds almost like it's, people talk about it like as if it's easy, but to actually maintain a consistent energy flow of self-belief and not fall into self-doubt can be extremely tricky, yeah? So in order, I don't know if I really do need to pull another card, because I feel like the advice and the guidance is that in order to bring this next love through is trying to align your energy, trying to find a sense of stability, either in a belief that it is on its way, what comes up in your personal conflict, Nat. You know, what is self-sabotaging you? What is your doubt? You know, I would like, if you enjoy journaling, if you find that useful, write those doubts down, and then write the counteract, you know, the opposite of that doubt. You know, if you think of, you can personalize affirmations for yourself. So when that comes up, whatever that inner saboteur says about this not being able to happen, whatever that is for you, you know, it's always very personal to us what our inner saboteur has to say to us. And then what would be an affirmation that would counteract that would be useful. Because the promise of a committed relationship, the Hierophant, is about stability, can be another card of marriage, because it's about a traditional root, long-term commitment, stability, you know, doing things the right way. That is on its way to you. The best way that you can influence this, the best way that you can bring this through, is focusing on your inner saboteur and getting on the same page with yourself. Which, like I say, I don't say that lightly. And I think we all like majorly, I don't want to say everyone majorly struggles with that, but certainly at times in our lives on certain topics, you know, it's natural to have that. So I hope that resonated, Nat. Thank you, Miller, for posting your question. I'd love to know if you see something happening or what's happening between me and Mikkel by October this year. I wonder if one of us will make a move to meet and see things moving forward by end of 25 at least. Okay, so let's have a look at the energy between you two. You're welcome, Nat. Thank you for confirming. So this is for Miller. Let's see what the energy is between you and Mikkel. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Miller as well, Mikkel. Sure thing. Thank you for that context. I remember with the in-depth reading that we looked at Mikkel as well. Not talking now. Let's do an energy check-in with them. I think that'll be the most helpful, okay? About how they think and feel about this connection. Ooh. They're in some indecision, Miller. Two of Swords, okay? Being at somewhat of a crossroads. Why do they feel torn? I don't know. This could be maybe you have more understanding of what's going on in their life, their situation. But Two of Swords always, we're at a crossroads, okay? That's what they can go this direction or they can go that direction. And at the minute, they are stuck. Okay, there we go. So I remember you saying, no, sorry. He was holding back due to past person. So about being scared to be hurt again, about being still emotionally connected to them and not, the sword says, you know, can be about as well cutting ties with people. Okay. So he can't quite bring it. That's what's stagnating this connection for you. Okay. This Mikkel's energy is stuck, you see how they're seated here? They're blindfolded, so they can't see a way forward out of this. And what they need to do, I mean, is that they already have the answer. And it's in their intuition and it's in their gut. That's where all our answers do lie. And generally Spirit's message is that, you know, we need to work on quieting the inner saboteur, just like with Nat say, or with are those voices that pull us away from our intuition, that try to trick us, try to manipulate us and gaslight us and tell us that something isn't true. And it's our intuitive voice that is always trying to speak to us, that tells us what we want, what we're planning to do, what we are already in many ways committed to. And this is is an illusion of sorts that that they are stuck. This is someone who needs to look within. So can you tell us any more, Spirit, about, will they be able to shift out of this? Will we see any movement for Miller? The Emperor? So, yes, I do see change ahead. The Emperor is someone who... is this them or is this someone else? Okay, so I actually think that this is someone else's energy because it doesn't really align with the read that I'm getting on them. So I think you're actually going to be faced with the decision of your own Miller here as well. Okay, so there's either you might recognize this Emperor or this could be someone new coming into your life. It'll be up to you if you want to wait it out with this person. It's entirely up to you. It's free will, okay? That, you know, whilst this person is stuck in indecision, it's going to take some time. It's going to take them... For you to see movement on this, you're going to have to be patient and see it out and allow them to come to their own decision and make a move in their own time. Okay? In the meantime, whilst they're kind of doing that, there will be a new love offer for you coming through with this Ace of Cups, which talks about new love. And this comes from this Emperor character who has a very different energy to actually this person. The Emperor is someone who is very decisive, is very in control. This is the boss card of the deck, okay? Someone who is very established. The shadow side to the Emperor, they can be kind of controlling and they like to have things their own way. But the positive side of the Emperor is that it's someone who can bring a lot to the table. They're often very successful in the material world. They can have a good job, status, money. They are someone who is worldly wise. And they are someone who they're a leader, yeah, they kind of lead their way, and if you want to get on board with that, it can be nice to get in the slipstream of that energy of someone who is really kind of a mover and shaker, yeah. So you'll be faced with your own decision. I mean, you don't have to close the door on this in order to explore this Emperor energy, Miller, that's really up to you, yeah. But this feels like a new offer, a different offer. This feels, for now, with Mikkel, there is some stuckness. It will change. There will be a decision made at some point, but it's up to you of how much energy and time that you want to give to this. Let me just do a list update. Sorry, Tia. Yes. If you want to hang around to see if there's any cancellations, Tia, if you're still here, please do stick around if you want to see if anyone's not here, and then I can see if I can read for you. Tia, it's up to you. Tej is next, and then Devea. Hey Benny, you are on the list. Absolutely. Oh good, I'm glad you're still here, Tia. Yeah, stick around if you've got the time. So, Tej, my love, this is for you. So Siddharth's current energy or feelings towards me, I'm hoping he will take some action towards me in the next few months. Oh, there we go. Didn't we get this last time? I wonder if we got, maybe not, but I feel like we did get this. They are still in decompression mode, Tej, about something. This is like Four of Swords is rest, recuperation, can be feeling somewhat stuck, but more like in after burnout, okay? When we have been through something stressful, when we have been through an intense period of action or emotional upheaval, it can be anything, okay? But it really is like a time out. They can be, where they want to be really is in bed, is resting, or is just stillness, is some kind of time out from life. Through this stained glass window here, it's like life is going on, but they want to keep it at a distance, yeah? They're happy for it just to be going on out there, and they don't really want to engage with life very much. Swords can represent thoughts, fears, anxiety, and they're keeping them at bay by resting, but they are threatening to fall on them for these swords to come down, okay? So where their energy is going is they're having to put a lot of energy at the moment into keeping their own thoughts, overthinking, anxieties, worries, too much head energy they're having to keep them at bay and work quite hard at doing that. So that this is an energy read on Siddharth for you, Tej, of where they're at, and then, you know, how this rolls over really and sort of affects this connection, because they're in this kind of stuck energy. They're avoiding life at the minute. So for now, obviously things can change, things will change, they will re-emerge out of this at some point. But after whatever they've been through, stress, whatever's on their mind, they are in a kind of time out at the minute, and this is a card of stillness and non-movement. So Devea, my love, if you are here, please do post. I'm not sure if you are still here, but you're welcome, Miller. So we have Devea, then we have Chanley, Danny Baby, Veni, Sonali. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, awesome, Devea. So Devea asks, guidance for my next move, please. I'm wondering if I have to cut my losses and walk away from a failure. So Devea, please do tell me more about, do you mean moving locations? To give me context. Thanks, Sonali, for letting me know. So Tej, I just have to keep things moving, obviously, in these live streams, so it's just sort of one question per person. Use the in-depth readings for, you know, more in-depth readings, more than one question, etc. So literally moving house, is that what you mean, Devea, I believe? I'm wondering if I have to cut my losses and walk away from a failure. So is this the one that we looked at before, though? Because I think the last energy was that it was saying, okay, it's a project I've been trying to manifest for a while. Is this a work project then, Devea? Okay, a project that you've been trying to manifest for a while. Let's have a look at the guidance for this, Devea. As always, provide as much detail as you feel comfortable as you can. So what it does is, it means I can interpret the messages from Spirit, yeah? Sure thing. A project. Let's have a look at the energy around this project. The World, Major Arcana. Cycles ending, new beginning. There is the need for a new cycle to begin. So this feels similar to the message I think that was in the past, that the energy kind of around this is that I feel like we need to reinvent either we can, if this project still is something that you really desire, Devea, okay, and that you want to work, then this new cycle can be that we need to have a new way of going about it. This was very similar to the message last time, in the sense of that if you're not done with it, then the change that needs to happen with this is that we need to reinvent our approach. I always think that with dreams and ambitions, that it's like if one way doesn't work, it can be that, yeah, that's dead, that cycle is ended about approaching it in that way. Okay? But it doesn't mean that there isn't, if we still have a very strong desire to make this project, this ambition happen, and we really still, that's very much alive in us, is that we can reinvent our approach. Okay, so there is new energy needs to happen in this situation for sure. That's what this, something needs to end. We need to close out an old way of doing it. Now, tell you what resonates with this. If you feel like if you are done with this project, if it has drained you, if the energy feels dead around it, then maybe we need to, make a complete 180 shift and do something completely different. But if we still have passion and desire and really still feel like we are invested in this and engaged in this and want it to happen, then what we need to do is just reinvent the idea of how to make it happen. I always think of the person, you feel hopeless now. So maybe what we need to do, Devea, is take a break. So if we're feeling hopeless, if we're feeling burnt out, then we can put things on hold and then revisit it. If it lasts the distance in a way after a break, if we feel like, okay, I want to have another bash at this, then go back to it and try again. When Abraham Hicks, for those that are interested in manifestation, says like, if something really isn't working and it feels really difficult and it feels very blocked, then what we need to do is shift our focus for a bit and focus on what is going well for us and what feels easy to us. And that sense of ease and treading lightly spreads out into other areas of our life then. But we don't need to keep banging on this drum of like something that feels difficult and giving us a lot of pain and suffering. We just need to often take our eye off that ball and stop focusing on that. Leave it be, park it for a bit, let it do its own thing, and focus on what is going easy for us. Where do we have a sense of ease? Move towards that. Okay? I love her too, Danny, as well. She's so certain. So a new cycle of sorts does begin. That new cycle today, it could be that you just need to focus on something totally different for a bit. Trust that like what's meant for you won't go by you, okay? If you want to, but if you're feeling hopeless and burnt out, I would say leave it alone for a bit. Give it a breather. Okay, so next up we have Chanley, and then, yes, very confident. Exactly, Danny, that level of certainty, like no doubt, like she, or she's channeling Abraham, isn't she? So it's not Esther as such, but that level of certainty is so reaffirming. So Chanley asks, I'd like to know the energy around a Leo guy. I know from another channel we are friends and did a reading on past love life. I messaged him after the read, but no response. What is on his thoughts? Let's have a look at this person's energy. So going through something heavy at the moment with their energy, with this Ten of Swords. Okay, Chanley. So this could be in the area of love, that's something, or it could just be life, you know. But we know that the Ten of Swords talks about betrayal, talks about being very disappointed and let down, and that is in their energy field for sure. So there could be a lot of about being open to a new connection, because this is where they're at energetically. Okay, like I don't know how much they expressed this or if they shared this with you at all, but there's some heartache, heartbreak. This person, you know, is on the floor with their knives in their back. Yeah, like they are struggling. So when you say no response, what are his thoughts? His thoughts are consumed in a way, I guess, by this betrayal and this loss. Probably most likely heartache, heartbreak. He has with his ex-twin flame, yeah. So I would say this is like a timing issue, Chanley, about with this connection, that this would obviously stall this connection. Their focus and their energy is still very much tied up in this, and it's probably something as well, like a complex situation that the timing is off for this connection right now. It's not. I hope that people can still see me. Oh dear. Hold on. Look, I'm just going to carry on. Let me know if it continues. This buffering. I think it says my connection's okay now. I'll carry on, but let me know if it doesn't sort itself out. So yeah, complex energies, Chanley, and kind of messy energies for someone to get involved with right now. This needs to, obviously as friends is fine, but anything beyond that, this person isn't ready. Things can change in time, some healing can happen, but that's why you're getting that hesitation from them, that the energy isn't coming forward. It's always a shame, I think, you know, when we can have a connection with people and it's so often it's like timing about where they're at in their life and where we're at can influence if that can be a success or not, you know. So Danny baby, you are next, my love. Oh no, I'm just checking the connection again. Oh no, it's okay, I think. We have Danny baby, we have Veni, and we have Sonali. Let me know who's here. If anyone is still here. Tia as well, if you're here. So Chanley, Danny, Veni, Sonali. Whoever is here, please go ahead and post. Sorry, did I say Chanley again? I know. Danny baby, Veni, Sonali, Tia. Oh, thank you, Danny. Awesome. Hi, Tia. Go ahead and post here. So Danny asks, so I have been putting me first and have guilt behind it, yeah. And have guilt behind it, and rest. Because I feel persons need me, yeah. Regarding the last reading, my fears are unfounded. So now that I've grasped that, can I get a message from Spirit? Hey, Benny, go ahead and post as well. Okay. Sorry about the buffering, guys. It just keeps going in and out. It says the connection's all right now. Yes, Benny, go ahead and post. Okay, so Danny, I know that you've got guilt around resting and putting you first. Do you want to, is that what you want to have a look at? Or do you want to have a look at you've grasped that your fears are unfounded and you want a message from Spirit about what comes next? Just let me know exactly, so I want to make sure I get this right. Sure thing. Yeah, so order is Danny, Veni, Sonali, and then Tia, just so everyone knows. Okay, you want guidance around that. Grasping the fears unfounded, so what comes next? Okay, so Spirit, what comes next? And I hope this buffering will not be too bad. Okay, so what it will do is, by being able to overcome your fears, okay, and figure out, like say, figure out that that's just like a block and it isn't going to be realized. What it allows you to do is be in a position where you can moves closer, Danny, to your ambitions, to be able to look to the future. The Three of Wands is fire energy, so it's about action, movement, being able to look to the future. I mean, the Three of Wands as well is about waiting for your ships to come in and the promise of the ships coming in, the ships being your desires and your ambitions and where your goal of where you hope to be going. So the Three of Wands as well is about it's more about, because you see how this person is stood on a cliff edge, is like there is an element of just holding space and waiting, which can feel counterintuitive to manifesting our desires and ambitions. But it's like that you've been energetically being able to put out in the universe what you want. You've also backed that up with action, okay, in what you can do at this point. And I feel like there's nothing more that you can do at the moment in action wise. There's no 3D sort of tangible moves that you have to make at the moment, Danny. But what you have to do is spiritually and energetically, you need to hold space and hold belief and wait, you know, for that thing to come through. Sometimes that can be the hardest thing to do. and that like a lot of movement and wearing ourselves out and doing feels like that we are chasing it down faster and we're going to make it come in faster. But actually pausing, conserving our energy, because that time of busyness and that next step, when these ships arrive, there's going to be a lot to do. Okay, you're going to go up a gear. So Danny says, yes, nothing more I can do. I can only do what I can and be patient. Exactly. I'm seeing this time we're just working on my spirituality. So yeah, it's much more energetically about keeping the mindset of self-belief that yes, this is spirit saying, you know, that thing that you want, that you wish for, it is on its way. So this is confirmation. Spirit says, yes, it is going to happen. It is coming in. But don't panic and do anything rash and kind of mess up this energy flow. That's like your fear, trying to interfere with that. Stand strong, stand bold. This person is just, you know, looking at these ships and watching them and just waiting for them to land on the shore. And then, you know, things are going to kick up a gear. You will be busy. You'll be in a new chapter then. So I hope that resonated, Danny. You're very welcome. So Venny, have you posted your question? Yes. You're wanting to know energies for the month of August, Venny. So this is for you. What is the month of August going to bring for you? Ooh, an offering. So we have the Knight of Cups bringing their cup forward. Now, depending what's going on in your life, Benny, if you are, this can be about love and romance. It doesn't have to be, you know, if you're already in a relationship. It can be a deepening of that connection and your current loved one bringing through a sort of heartfelt offering to you. It can be that. Or it's certainly about matters of the heart being the focus in this month, because it's cups. Cups is water, cups is emotions, cups is things that the softer side of us, okay? It's not about necessarily the 3D, money, ambition, you know, that's wands, that's pentacles. This is things that really are connected to our heart, what goes on in our inner world and our softer side. And this is something that really matters to you, maybe something that you've desired and you've wanted for some time. Like I say, it can be a new love connection coming in if you're single. If you're in an existing connection, it can be the deepening of that. Or it can even be a project or something if love isn't your focus, if that's not something that you want or that you desire. I think I'm buffering again now. I'm going to keep going. It's reconnected. This is annoying when this happens. So, oh, wow. So there we go. Then he says, in a relationship and waiting for your partner to propose to me for marriage. Wow. So there we go. A deepening of the connection and offering. Very promising. I hope oh, there we go. Sonali's come through. So can you tell me about this connection again, Sonali? This connection again, Sonali? Context. Thank you. Provide context. Tia, I'm going to read for you for your Pisces. Do an energy check-in for them whilst we're waiting for Sonali to... Do an energy check-in for them whilst we're waiting for Sonali to just give us more detail. So Tia, let's check in with how this Pisces is feeling about this connection. Putting down burdens, Tia. Burdens, Tia. old energies clearing out in their life, not in this connection, okay, but in like a deeper sense in them. I feel like that some baggage is being shifted and left behind, which feels good. So getting some closure on some issues. Maybe this connection with you has helped them. Some closure on some issues. Maybe this connection with you has helped them, Tia, close out some. I feel like this came through before a similar kind of energy, in the sense of that there was, for both of you, in some ways it was like a new experience, that this relationship was kind of going to be different to stuff that they'd known in the relationship was kind of going to be different to stuff that they'd known in the past, and that kind of went both ways, and this is almost like a continuation of that. The 10 of Wands is, we put down baggage, and baggage is worries, fears, insecurities, stuff that's outdated, stuff that we don't need anymore. And it feels like there's this, it's like a sense of relief, you know, it's like being able to take off a backpack of, you know, an emotional backpack. And what comes after the 10 is an ace. So it's a new beginning, it's a fresh start. It's we get to usher in a new cycle, and all this takes time, you know. It takes time to build trust. It takes time. We've got the Magician on the bottom of the deck here, about focusing on manifestation, still sneaking in there for you, Tia. So this feels good. I feel like you're going in the right direction, and that, they get to release something, that they're in the process of releasing stuff that no longer serves them. And this connection with you is helping that, something that has been a struggle, that have carried on their backs for a while. And as you get to know each other and build trust and get more relaxed, it's like the armor can come off and move. Oh look, there's the ace. There's your Ace of Swords. So what comes next? The Ace. And it's an Ace of Swords, which is about clarity, a fresh start, communication, being able to communicate, come from a truthful place, Tia, an honest place. So maybe being able to get more real with each other, you know, as that armor comes off for both of you, we can begin to reveal pieces of our true selves more and more. So it feels nice. Feels nice, Tia. I hope that resonated. And Sonali, last but not least, this is for you and your person, this new connection. Tell me, what is the energy spirit around this for Sonali? Oh, nice. So we get the 10 of Pentacles, which is the promise really of that this has the potential, this connection, for longevity. Pentacles is consistent energy. It's an energy that you can, that talks about longevity, that talks about a future and building a life together. He's not expressive. Can we get a comment on that, please, Spirit? A transition of some, this is your person's energy, Sonali, that commenting on that, why they may have trouble expressing themselves, is they are shifting from, so this could be a past relationship, it could be their history with family, you know, where they've come from. Emotionally, it gives us insight that they have come from a tumultuous place. They've come from an emotional storm, and they are transitioning with you into something calmer. But this is going to take them a while maybe to catch up, to trust and believe in this. Again, we need to be patient. We need to have give it time for people to open up. And I think because of their history, because they've probably built up barriers, because they've come from a place of emotional turmoil, essentially. And making this connection with you that feels calmer, that feels more stable, that feels 10 of Pentacles, that it's like it's okay. Like, you may have a very reassuring energy as well, and that this connection has the potential to last the distance. But their mind needs to kind of catch up with that this is not the past, is not going to go how the past was. Because the Six of Swords is often about outdated mindsets and outdated ideas of maybe how relationships need to go. Maybe they've had a lot of drama and stuff in the past. That's what it would suggest. And it's kind of like maybe surprising them that things can be calm, things can be peaceful, things don't have to be hectic and chaotic in a relationship. And they shouldn't be, really, yeah? So there we go. I hope that resonated for you, Sonali. I'm going to end the live there. Thank you so much for everyone who asked your questions, brought your energy today. I'll be live again back on Monday, so please just look out for time confirmation then. But wishing you all a beautiful rest of the day, evening, wherever you are. Love and light, guys. Love and light. Take care.